everyone, it's Vesper Starwolf here with another video. First off, it sure has been a while, but I've been super busy with stuff. And right now, I have my cats in here because we got the Christmas tree up and I'm supposed to be watching them, so I just had to lock them up in here. So I don't want to take too long with these videos today. So anyway, as you know, I'm a published author. And in the future, I'm wanting to write a more longer, epic, fantasy type book series. And I'm wanting it to be fully illustrated, right? But illustrations cost a lot of money, especially because I do have an artist in mind for the covers, and they are on the pricier side. So having a lot of illustrations would also be very expensive. So I thought to myself, well, I am an artist, so I can do it myself, but my style and skill level isn't exactly something that I want to put in my books yet, because I get tired of looking at my own art after a while. I did the cover for my debut novel, Whispers in the Forest, and I'm already tired of looking at it. And I'm especially wanting the style to be similar to Gustave Doré's style. If you haven't seen, I'm sure you've seen his works. It looks like this. He has illustrated Paradise Lost and Dante's Inferno, those older classic poems. He's a, back in the day kind of artist. And the style isn't the easiest thing to replicate in today. Modernly, because it was actually like a carving and a print press type of thing. I don't really know how to describe that, but I would very much like to do a similar type of thing. Doesn't have to be exact. So at first I thought I would try to do this digitally, but to kind of get that traditional classic look, I decided to get back into traditional art and try to do it that way. So I bought some new supplies, and throughout the month of October I decided to do Inktober again, something I haven't done since 2019. I practiced trying to do a similar art style throughout the month of October. So I wanted to show y'all all my art throughout the month and see if I've done any improvements. So starting off in November, using stuff I already had, I went ahead and drew this Rainwing and for the scaling, I kind of did this swirly marking. As you can see, I was still kind of unsure about what exactly I should do. So then I got my supplies in, and I drew a Seawing. This one I'm not too happy with, but I was just testing out my supplies. So I had like a thicker manga pen, a small one, and then I also got smudgers so I could kind of shade in. I have taken drawing classes in a college before, so this kind of smudging technique I learned from there. And back then I did do relatively decent artwork. I remember one of my pieces, even one like that first place blue ribbon. So I'm not like terrible at art, but I've just been doing digital for so long that I'm very out of practice. So then after I was more confident, after I tested the new supplies, I went ahead and lined this sketch of Lucifer I had done. So I tried to do kind of like shadowing for his cheekbone and his horns, and it's still not like where, this is like one of the first I've done, so it's not where I want it to be, but I do like how it looks. So for the wings, I was trying to do these kind of detailing, this kind of style with the lines here, that stuck because I really like doing that and I like how the wings look, but for the upper parts of the wings, I really struggled for a bit. So then Inktober actually hit, and so here's this drawing of Asmodeus. As you can see, I kind of kept the scaling with this method. I don't know if I'll permanently keep that, but probably just for larger reptiles. And then for Asmodeus's tail, I kind of did a similar thing, but with pen. I just kind of like, so I did the details. That's very time consuming, but I like the look of it. And I was getting better at doing chest hair, and then his ribs are kind of very lightly done. What is that? So there's Asmodeus. So then here's this drawing of King Belial. And this one, I wasn't too happy with how it turned out. Sammy, I swear. This one I wasn't too happy with how it turned out, because this is the first time I was trying to focus on like a background, which with Gustav's works is very like is probably what is remembered the most. So you know, I do like how these rocks turned out, kind of like the shading, so I do dive into that more, but I feel like I went overboard with the lines and it's like too busy. And something I'm still struggling with is like how much detail to put in the further away things. And so that's, you know, I wasn't too happy with that one. And then we have a kind of abstract one of Marquis Andros. So I really like using like dark negative space or what have you. I really like just doing the pure black. It has a nice stylistic look to it. I do realize with my shading, I need to like go darker. That was always an issue I had that my art instructor would always point out, because I don't make my values dark enough. So here you can see I continued on with this style for the wings. I did make it like smaller though, and I still struggle with this, but I think I did kind of keep this look for like that section of the wing. So there's that. So here is Samyaza. As you can see, really struggling to find out what to do with this section of the wing. And then the rocks there. Fabric, I still am not quite sure what to do with. So this is just one of those kind of middle pieces. So here's just like a silly drawing of President Malphas. By this point I was like, I need to just take a break. I wasn't quite... So I just kind of did simple lines to show kind of like his feathers on this one. His wings, the lines are closer together though, and then you have dark shading on his horns and his beak and feet, which I do kind of like that. I might have to keep that one. Then we have Azazel, which is very similar pose and area to Samyaza. I kind of was going for the vibe that they're hanging out together. So here you can see I kind of still kept that rocky area, and like the grass I'm not too happy with. So, you know, some of these are just very kind of like the same. And his, you know, I tried to do something different here, and I still don't know if that really kept. But then like further, like his other wing I just blacked out because it was behind him. Here we have Queen Lilith. So you see how I did the snake. Again, I need to darken up the shading, but there she is. I really enjoyed doing her hair though. So here's Azael. I was trying to go for like a you looking down into a hole, and seeing him at the bottom, I don't know if that kind of tracks, but I tried to get that look in the shading. And then, so his wings, I tried doing the same thing. And then his eye, I put a little bit of detail in there. And then, like I said, I really like doing the dark stuff. Okay, so because these cats are ruining my life, I had to change location so I could watch the Christmas tree and let them out so they don't destroy everything. Yeah. So anyway, so here's one of the Watcher Armaros. I really like how this one turned out. So I have like the crystals, which like crystal and like metal and stuff was like my favorite thing to draw back in my art class. So I was trying to reclaim that kind of style. I'm not huge about the rocks up front or like the ground here, but like this and these I really like. And then I went more simple with his feathering since he's just all wings and I wasn't quite sure how I would be able to pull that off. So then I still got the dark and just a black space, but I did go a bit darker with the shading. Yeah, love this. And then we have Queen Nama. So, I'm still trying to keep that darker shading in there. And then I did her scaling, which I think looks really nice. So there's that. Then we have Barakiel, the Watcher. Clouds, I tried to do very similar to how Gustav does, but I was a bit uncertain with how to do that. And I'm still kind of iffy on that. But as you can see, I kept up with the like detailed scale work here. And then the shading, and then I lined kind of like the fur. There's him. So with Andromelech here, I tried to recreate his traditional artwork, which was done with like the similar way to Gustav's. So I'll put that like here to show. So I just tried to do that to see if like a simpler work could do. So there's him, and it was important for me to try to do peacock feathers because there is a character in my fantasy series that has a peacock tail. There's actually two. So this was very important for me to test out, and I do like how it turned out. And I did make them look like eyes, which is also important. So there's Andromelech. I did kind of like a mixture with the shading. So there he is. Alright, and here's Cocobiel. This one is probably one of my favorites that I did. So, I have that just blackout that I really enjoy doing with like simple, like very bold, like lighting. So yeah, that's a sun, but I did like slight detailing with the pen, and then I went in there with that shading, and I love how he turned out. If I could recreate like stuff like this for my illustrations, I'd be very happy. So here's King Paimon. This is one of those where I wasn't really feeling it, but I still tried. I think I went a bit too hard on the shading because it's like a little shiny and it gets lost, but there he is. And there's Shamziel, a Watcher Angel. Again, I think the backgrounds are something I'm really struggling with They always have been. But, so like, here's some water that looks meh. I think this is fine, just kind of like a stylistic kind of mist. And then the waterfall is kind of meh. I do like how I did this, kind of like a cross-hatching. And that's fine, I guess, but like the mountains, I still don't know what to do with further back details. And then there's Shamsiel. So here's Marbas. Again, I was just in the mood to do something simpler, and so I did the ground like that, and then you see him. For his striping, I used kind of like a certain type of brush, and I think that works really well. I mean, a certain type of pen, and I think that works really well. So this is Tamiel. We have Kame. I tried doing his arms in a similar fashion as like the feathering, but I think they got a little too lost, so I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably like his longer feathers, and maybe the under feathers do detailing, then leave the rest blank. Here's Turiel, and then Tamiel again. So yeah. Again, there's that metal work that I like shading. And it's Michael. So for his, I did a very similar pose to Lucifer's, but like having him facing in the opposite direction. For like the cloth under his armor, I just went with like a blackout. So for his wings, I did kind of like a slight feathering, and then I shaded it in and then erased to have these kind of lines. And I actually like how this one looks a lot better than the rest. If I keep this up, I'll probably get like a much thinner eraser to try and do those detailings. I even thought about getting like a whiteout pen or something to like, after I black it out, being able to add lines and details. That might be cool. So here's Akibiel, another watcher. He was in like a cave, but like a very thin cave, those kind where like rocks are on the bottom and the top and they're very close together. The only reason I didn't like black out the back is because I think he would have gotten lost, because he's just kind of like a fuzzball type. So you can see that. And then for like just darkness, here's Ananiel, another watcher. For her, I tried to focus on how I would do fur detailing. I like how it looks like here. Not so sure about on her body yet. That's something I'll also probably need to work on. And then I don't know how to do a furry face, because I don't want the details to get too lost. Here we have Prince Citri. And as you can see, I tried to do the same that I did with like Michael's wings. And then, so there's him, and with the background again, I tried to do less detail, but I'm still not quite happy with it. And you know, backgrounds and everything are very important, especially with like a fantasy type story, because you're gonna have to be able to see all those like fantasy elements. So it's important for me to be able to try and get those better. So here we have Prince Stolas. Marcosius, which I do like how this one turned out especially the rocks, and then you have like the trees, and it's kind of shadowy, so you can't see all the details. And then her feathers are like this, which I really like how they turned out. I blacked out this leg. I don't know why I didn't do it this one. I guess because it's not like completely concealed. Then her like slight detailing. Again, the mountain. I'm not sure what to do with that. But the rest of it I really like. Then we have Prince Rosier. Yeah, see, I'm getting the wings. The wings were also an important aspect for me to get correctly, because I will say the fantasy series is about angels and fallen angels, so they're gonna have a lot of wings drawn on pretty much every piece, so that was important. Look at him. And there I tried to his fur. Again, trees are kind of simple. I just kind of do that. And then the bushes and there. Then we have Fia. I gave him little skeleton antlers. Batariel, another watcher. I kind of did slight detailing on that. The clouds, I tried doing something else, but again, I'm just like, that one kind of looks cute. Mountain, not detailed enough, I don't think. And we have Moloch. So with Moloch, I finally realized that with fur detailing, I can just go in with a pencil and do a light line work, so it's not super over, like, kind of like how I do the darker line work on the clothing and it pops, but like, if I did it with the fur, all the details and everything would get lost. So, I was like, wait, I can just do it with pencil, and it still gives that look while not being too out there in your face about it. And there we have Danelle, the Watcher. Again, so this style for the wings I kind of stuck with. And then I got the armor detailing. Like, the castles, I'll probably just do like this kind of simple work. Still struggling with grass. And for October 31st, I went with Lucifer again. So the wings stay, and then this. I will say by this point, I was kind of burnt out. But I was just trying to practice like line work and stylization. But I am going to start studying anatomy more and try to make actual like improvements on style. And then the last thing I drew, which I just drew it while I was on a Discord call with my friend to do something, is Jamjael, the Watcher Angel. So you can see I did like the feathering detail, and for his larger feathers I kind of just did that, because I'm still not quite sure what to do with like normal feathering. So like when they like are arms too, I don't know really what to do. But then there's the scaling I like doing. I kind of messed up on his face by trying to do the same scaling. I should have done something different. And then this, I would have, if it was an illustration for a book, I would probably put more detail in it, but it's treasure and like coins. I just did not feel like doing all of that. But yeah, and that is the last one I have drawn. So that is basically where I'm at right now. So if anyone has any advice or like particular videos I should watch, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. And if you like this kind of artwork, kind of style I am doing, I am currently open for pay what you want commissions, because I'm also getting not many hours at work and I really need the money right now. So you can message me on Instagram or Twitter, even though I'm not really using it that much anymore, at Vesper Starwolf, and I can give you my PayPal and you can send me however much money you want, and then depending on how much you pay, I will act accordingly and draw your character or what have you. And because, you know, this way y'all can get some art and I can help improve my craft. So there is that. Thank you so much for staying to the end if you did. I know this is kind of a lot and I like talking a lot, but this is something I'm really passionate about and excited for. So I just kind of wanted, and it is a huge reason why I haven't really been posting too many videos, along with me just writing and working on book stuff, since that is my ultimate career goal. So I just wanted to show this kind of update video to show what I've been working on the side, in the background, what have you. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye! Whoosh!